Let's get to the NFC South non-negotiables here, okay? So we've been doing this all week in honor of the Bear and its 150 Emmy nominations in, for some reason, the comedy category. The non-negotiables for every NFL team. We're tackling the NFC South today.
Non-negotiable.
Let's start with the Panthers. I'm going to say the non-negotiable for the Panthers is run the football. A lot of it's going to be about Bryce Young. Everything they do, everything Dave Canales is doing there is all about getting Bryce Young going. The best way to keep the pressure from all being on the shoulders of a second-year quarterback who's coming off an absolute nightmare first season is get Miles Sanders going, and when Brooks is healthy, get him going. Find a way to have a balanced offense, because last year, everything that they were doing in terms of the offensive approach didn't work, and you got to build some confidence early. Don't put it all on his shoulders. For the Falcons, I'm going to say it's start fast. And I know that that's easy. Nobody ever wants to start slow. Everybody would like to start fast. We talked about it earlier. When you are in a situation where you've made an unorthodox move or moves at the quarterback position, if you don't start fast with a 36-year-old quarterback coming off an Achilles and a first-time play caller, it just is going to raise the type of questions they don't want to answer. The Falcons have spent the whole offseason telling everybody we're never going to be bad again. We're going to be good. We're never going to be drafted up high. You better start doing that right out of the gate. And it's the Steelers that you got to take on in week one. For the Bucs, it's Baker keeps going. That's what it is. It's Baker's got to. I understand when he comes in, he's on a one-year deal last year. The pressure's kind of off him at that point. Yeah, his career's on the line. But he sometimes plays his best when you back him into a corner. Now he's paid. Yeah. Now he's the guy. That dynamic has shifted. Baker has to keep doing what he did a year ago. And for the Saints, there's a lot of stuff for the Saints. I would say this. Dennis Allen's expertise is on defense. That D has to do its thing. Because Derek Carr, notoriously in new offenses, has struggled historically. You may not get out of the gate fast, even though I think it was a smart move to bring in a guy like Clint Kubiak and run that style of offense. The defense has to do its part if you're going to stay in a division that is pretty wide open, a division in which that was part of the reason you went 9-8 a year ago, even though that wasn't good enough to get into the playoffs. I'm really interested in that Saints team because, for years, obviously, they've kept so many veteran players around. They've had guys like Michael Thomas who hasn't produced in several years. They finally move on from him. He's still a free agent hanging out there. They still got a situation resolved with Alvin Kamara, and it's been brewing for like 4 months now. If they're able to come to an accord and get Kamara in time, he stormed out on the last day of minicamp and left and made a show of it. So they've got some of those things going on. You still got the Cam Jordans of the world. You got the Honey Badgers of the world. Are you going to be able to put that thing together? Again, it's a veteran team. They always have one of the most veteran teams, most guys over age 30. That's the team that's built to win right now, even though I think the narrative around the Saints is more so, is Dennis Allen's job in trouble? They won games last year. I think they probably overachieved in a lot of people's minds. When you got a quarterback like Derek Carr and you've got all these veteran players, you are trying to win immediately here. If they're able to get out to a fast start, I got to look up the early portion of the schedule here for the Saints. You've got home against the Panthers. Then you got to go to Dallas. You got to be home against the Eagles, at Atlanta, at the Chiefs. It's a rough out-of-the-gate start for the Saints. You steal one or two of those games and no one's going to give you a chance in. Maybe you have the type of springboard forward that you need to be able to be a factor as we get into January.
Catch the Rich Eisen Show every single day on the Roku channel, 12 to 3 Eastern, for free.